Alright guys, issue 75, the first sprue of our repulsor tank, and I've had a little look through here, and there's no build guide whatsoever. So we're going to have to wait until we get all of it. So that's the next 4 issues is for the repulsor tank. So we'll hang on to this until we get those. However, let's look at the magazine. So we've got Repulsor Tank Part 1, Discover the Unari and Relics in your games. In this issue comes with the first part of your Space Marine Primaris repulsor tank. Over this and the next 3 issues, you'll receive all 4 parts of your new tank and a whole host of articles to go with it. The build guide, paint guide and rules for your repulsor will come in later issues, but for now you'll enjoy the great articles in this issue, including plenty of information on repulsors for you to read. Once you're done, there are rules for adding relics in your games. Mighty pieces of war gear that you can give to your heroes before the game. Okay, so we're going to learn about repulsors and their war gear. We're going to look at Space Marine Chapter 7.2, Wars of Iron. Read the history of the cold and calculating Iron Hand Space Marine chapter during the 41st millennium. Then we've got Space Marine War Machine 16, the Invicta Tactical Warsuit. Space Marine Chapter 3.4, Making a Silver Templar. Then 40k Factions 3.4, the Unari. Factions 3.4 again, the Unari Showcase. Then we've got more faction rules for the Ultramarine Relics. Faction rules for the Death Guard Relics. And then we've got rules of Mission 58, DECAY Raid. Okay, Repulsor. Utilising anti-gravity generators and powerful turbine engines, repulsor transports hover above the ground as they advance to deliver their cargo of Primaris Space Marines to the heart of the battle. Okay, so capacity 10 Space Marines. Armaments are Heavy Onslaught Gatling Cannon, Icarus Iron Hail Heavy Stubber, Iron Hail Heavy Stubber, 2 Crackstorm Grenade Launchers, 2 Storm Bolters, Twin Heavy Bolters, Auto Launchers, and optionals are Twin Las Cannons, Las Talons, Onslaught Gatling Cannon, Fragstorm Grenade Launchers, and Icarus Rocket Pod. Embarkation points are top, rear and sides, and it is for Primaris Space Marines only, so don't be sticking those scouts in there. Okay, so that's good. Now we'll look at the war gear, and it's showing us these are the grenade launchers, more grenade launchers for the Crackstorm ones, Icarus Rocket Pod, the Auto Launcher, Gatling Cannon, Heavy Stubber, Twin Las Cannons. These are the anti-gravitic plates. Very nice. I'm looking forward to getting all this stuff. Then it's got the data file for all the war gear, going through what all that shit is. Okay, now we've got Wars of Iron. During the 41st millennium, the clan companies of the Iron Hands have pursued merciless campaigns against the Imperium's foes. As the galaxy descends further into madness and slaughter, their relentless, emotionless tactics are required on an even more regular basis. Okay, so that's cool. Now we've got the Invicta Tactical Warsuit. Again, this stuff hasn't been out for very long at all, but it does look pretty smashing. So this is Games Workshop trying to sell different stuff in between the issues, which I do not blame them for whatsoever, so that's cool. Okay, now we've got Making a Silver Templar. Life as a warrior often ends in brutal death, even for a Space Marine. Every chapter must have access to a stream of fresh recruits that have the strength, willpower and purity of spirit to replace the fallen. The body must be vital, the mind keen. Any weakness will result only in death. Nice. Becoming a Silver Templar. Becoming a Silver Templar is a long and torturous process that begins many, many years before the aspiring Space Marine even steps foot upon the floors of Colossus. By the time his training begins, each recruit will have experienced pain, death, and loss in equal measure. His will must have the strength of iron. Okay, now we've got the Unari, Forces of Eldari. As the forces of chaos grow in strength, so too does a new Eldari faction rise. As the forces of chaos grow in strength, so too does a new Eldari faction rise. The Ynnari have found a way to defeat chaos and revenge themselves upon Slaanesh, or so they claim. Do not fear death, for your spirit shall serve our cause. In the wake of sacrifice, new life shall spring. Okay. Now, I like these guys. I think they're pretty cool. They are in stark contrast to most of the rest of the world of 40k. Very nice. Some of this stuff's fairly new as well. But yeah, I like it. Okay, now we're learning about Ultramarines chapter relics. The Ultramarines armories are full of wondrous relics, weapons, armour and heraldry that have been used by the greatest champions of the chapter. Here we present the selection for you to use. So let's pick a couple of these to look at. The Sanctic Halo. So this is for Ultramarines captains only. The bearer of the Sanctic Halo has a 3-up invulnerable save and can try to deny 1 psychic power in each enemy psychic phase in the same manner as a Psyker. So that's good. Tome of Malachor, Tome of Malcador, Psyker only. The bearer of this Tome of Malcador knows 1 additional psychic power from the Librarius discipline. Okay, and then we'll look at the Primarch's Wrath. Models with a bolt gun or mastercrafted bolt gun only. The Primarch's Wrath replaces the bearer's bolt gun or mastercrafted bolt gun and has the following profile. Range of 24 inch. Rapid fire 2, armor piercing -1, damage 2, strength 5. So very cool. Okay, and then we've got. Then it's got some examples of how it can be used. So this is good. Then we've got Death Guard Relics of Decay as well. So the play skull of Glothilla. This oversized death head was once the skull of Chaos Lord Glothilla, whose dying wish was to become a weapon of purest evil. The plague skull of Glothilla has the following profile. So range 7 inches, and it's a grenade. You can only use this weapon once per battle. If it hits, roll 1 dice for each model in the enemy unit, re-rolling any results of 1. That unit suffers a mortal wound for each roll on a 6. That is pretty special. So that's good. Okay, and then we've got Mission 58. Raid on the DECAY facility. Columns of smoke and blazing fires line the route of Barachius. Meanwhile, inside the city's walls, the sick and wounded are dying in their thousands. With the skies above Corvon 2 aflame, there is no way for supplies to be dropped. The Space Marines are forced to make other arrangements. Okay. Medicae raid. Supply crates and shattered equipment litter the ruins of the Medicae facility. The Ultramarine strike force must secure as much medical equipment as possible and return it to Barachius. The Death Guard seek only to destroy and corrupt these valuable supplies and ensure that disease and death spread. Okay, so the battlefield. Roll off and start with the winner. Take turns placing the maps as shown above. Set up terrain in an agreed manner. Place 2 objective markers as shown. Roll off and starting with the winner, each player places another objective marker more than 6 inches from the battlefield edge and 8 inches from any other objective markers. So we've got a power rating of 50 for a battle forged army. Deployment are shown them up above. Both players roll off. The winner chooses their deployment zone. Players then alternate deploying their units, beginning with the player chosen to deploy first. The player who finished setting up their army first takes the first turn. And the victory conditions are: eliminating an enemy unit is 1 victory point. The first player to eliminate an enemy unit is another victory point. 1 for eliminating the Warlord. Controlling an objective marker is 1 victory point. You control an objective marker if you have more than 3, but if you have more models within 3 inches at the end of the game. And this is a 5 battle round game. So this is good. This is more standard 40k fair. So very, very good. Okay, and then we'll take a look forward to the next 3 weeks. Your next conquests is the rest of our stuff for the repulsor tank. So what else have we got? So next week we'll be looking at Tech Marines and the evacuation of Corvon 2. In issue 77 we'll be looking at discovering the Necrons and a paint guide for the repulsor. And then 78 we've got Discover the Inquisition, and then we'll be looking at our repulsor's data sheet. So that's good. We look forward to those. So thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you later.